In a town brimming with history and untold stories, people often ask me, are there more hidden tales about Huntington Beach? Are there secrets yet to be uncovered? Of course there are. So join me, Chris Epting, an author with a fervent appetite for the unknown, as we delve into the historic secrets of Huntington Beach. Get ready to uncover more hidden secrets of this coastal gem in Hidden Huntington Beach, Season 6. Welcome to 5th Street in Huntington Beach, a hidden gem that seems to exist in a world all of its own, just one block away from the hustle and bustle of Main Street. Here, the energy is quieter and the atmosphere feels distinctly more local. This charming street is a haven for small businesses, showcasing the spirit and creativity of the community, while also housing some of the city's most historic buildings. Today, we're stepping inside one of those iconic structures. As we chat with the owner, we'll uncover the rich history of this building and discover what makes it a cornerstone of the neighborhood. But our journey doesn't stop there. We'll also learn about the legendary Beach Court building just a few blocks away, which he also owns. What's fascinating is the story behind the city's original police headquarters, where we'll learn about the remnants of the past that still exist within its walls. Today, this historic site has been transformed by a creative nonprofit group dedicated to making a positive impact through community outreach. So, join us as we take a leisurely stroll down 5th Street, a delightful diversion from the busier downtown area, and immerse ourselves in the stories that make this place truly special. So Don, we're sitting here in one of the most historic buildings in Huntington Beach. You've owned it for a number of years, but you've owned other properties as well. You own the very famous the Beach Court complex.
13 units.
13 units, single room units, which is a legendary location that has rumors about Rudolph Valentino. Beach Court is a historic gem built in 1923, right in the heart of the early motion picture era. That same year, the iconic Hollywoodland sign made its debut high in the hills above Los Angeles. It was still several years before the first Academy Awards graced the silver screen in 1929, and before the late 1920s ushered in the golden age of film. Why does that matter? Because here's where it gets intriguing. Rumor has it that the legendary film star Rudolph Valentino not only graced this place with his presence, but that his spirit may still linger haunting the halls of the Beach Court. As you approach, take in the arched entrance and the beautifully tiled roofline, hallmarks of the Spanish colonial revival style that swept through Southern California around 1915. While we may never uncover the truth of Valentino's visits, one thing is certain: the Beach Court is a captivating slice of old California, steeped in the charm of silent films and the tantalizing tales spun by the film industry's early publicity teams. And did they bootleg? They were like...
There's a bootleg down there. I won't tell you where it is because people want to get in there.
You've owned that for a number of years. Talk to us about how you purchased that property.
I bought it. I was in escrow, and I closed escrow. Then I was sitting at the fishing with this guy next to me. We got talking about, oh, where do you live? What, guys talk. And I said, oh, I just bought a building at 6th and Orange. He says, well, I sold a building at 6th and Orange. I said, I bought Beach Court. He said, I owned it. I gave it to you. I said, well, what did you pay for it? He said, I paid $48,000 for it. And I bought it from him for $97,000. He said, I already made a killing.
And then how did you hear about this? You got a really good deal on this building.
Paid $25,000 for it.
$25,000 for this building.
Yeah, I traded it on another piece of property on 8th Street that I paid $25,000 for. And I traded it, and this guy needed to sell it because he was going bankrupt. So I took him out of it and got him out of bankruptcy, and I bought it here.
Tell us about what was here. I know it was the first police station on Main Street, but there were other things that were here as well.
Different people were in there. There was an attorney. If you look upstairs on top, you could see the glass. Well, there's one on the other one. But we had to tear that down because they were breaking into his shop, his attorney shop, and so he covered it up. And then this is the only one. This is original up here.
This one right here.
Yeah, it's still there.
Beautiful skylight.
Yeah, it's a skylight. And we were going to change it But I said, let's just try to save it because I don't want to tear it down.
You're somebody that obviously appreciates history. You could have torn this place down, but you didn't.
We're not tearing this down. This is staying in the family.
Oh, that's wonderful. There's a lot of stories, a lot of mythology about when it was built, who built it. Of course, talk about the jail cells that everybody knows about, which are part of this complex.
The original jail cell is on the alley.
That's the first one.
The first one.
Then they added the other ones
And they added
after.
the 3, and then they put a wall. There's a door along the next door building, and there's a door that you could go through and walk right across and put a bad guy on one side, another bad guy, and then another bad guy.
You're going to protect it. You say your kids, this will go to your kids, but they can do what they want. But as long as you're here, this building isn't going anywhere,
It's not
right?
going anywhere. Yeah, we're not going to get rid of it because why not? It's 100 years old. Why not keep it another 100?
More than 100, yeah. What is it about Fifth Street do you think is special? Everybody knows Main Street, but Fifth Street to me always has had its own personality. It's obviously quiet, simpler, gentler than Main Street. What do you think about Fifth Street?
This downtown, this Fifth Street should be wide open with the Main Street. It should be part of Main Street. You should use this more for Tuesday night sales of the downtown merchants. It's really good.
We talked to Don about the history of this building. What's it like for you to come in here every day? There's so much, and you walk through the door and you just feel it. You see the open brick, you see the rafters that are original redwood, you see the original front door. I mean, this really is a living, breathing piece of HB history. What's it like for you to be here?
It's pretty amazing. The history, the rich culture that happens here in Huntington Beach. We're amazed that we get to facilitate this and steward this amazing opportunity now in 2024 and hopefully in the future.
It's one of the great buildings in downtown. For people who don't know, what goes on here now? I mean, again, you're building new history here. What's your organization all about? What are the opportunities for the community? Talk to us about what happens here today.
We're STN, Surfing the Nations California, and we're a 27-year-old nonprofit with our roots based out of Wahiawa on the island of Oahu in Hawaii. And now we have 4 bases internationally. We have Wahiawa on the island of Oahu, here in Huntington Beach, Sri Lanka, and Sweden. And through action adventure trips internationally, through selfless acts of community service, and through internships, we prep the next generation to carry on the legacy of creating intentional community, whether it's here locally or abroad.
And then you do events. There are evening events and other things. Talk about that a little bit.
So we work with the community to really put our ear down to what is needed. We ask them what their dream for Huntington Beach is. And one of the things that we do offer currently is we have co-working, which is offered on Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays from 9 o'clock to 2:30. Complimentary coffee and tea. We have some pretty rad co-workers, if I do say
Great
so myself.
coffee bar behind you
Amazing
there.
coffee bar called Surfer's Coffee, and that'll eventually be built out as well. And we also do events.
What was it like for you when the building was being refurbished? What was physically exposed to you in a way that you could learn about the building, whether it was the ceilings or the floors? Talk about what you learned about when the building was being worked on.
I think the history of the building, it's so deep, and everybody has something that they reminisced about. That was the thing that came up most. Oh, I remember when it was a nail salon, or I remember when it was a key shop in back, or I remember when it was an electrician's office. We weren't supposed to cover it up. There's not supposed to be laminate floors. To have constant conversations about it, it has to be visible. And so we're really excited to be able to steward the gift that this building is and to invite people in to see what used to take place here.
Is the ad for the key place still out back on top of the...
It sure is, yes. Dawn and as well as us, we want to keep that up as a remembrance of places that have come and gone before us, just a way to honor the history, the rich history of downtown Huntington Beach.
What is it about Fifth Street today that you think is different than Main Street, and how do you fit in with that? How's your organization fit in with that, and what opportunities are there for locals today?
We believe at the core of what Fifth Street is, Fifth Street's for the locals, and we want people to come down to Fifth Street and intentionally live with their communities. I mean, we're down for basically having life happen here at all times, and that's what we're excited about.
We've talked about doing something around books. Don's wife's got a book coming out, and we can maybe do a little book event together, which would be fun.
That would be wonderful.
But thanks for having us in. I mean, again, there's such mystery about this building, and the fact that it's open now to the public in all these different ways is really special. So we appreciate your time and energy here.
Thank you so much.